Yeah, let's talk about some good old extensions. Speaking of the Bears, yeah, Darnell Wright gets the highest guaranteed money ever for an offensive lineman. He just signed a 4-year extension, $116 million, $93 million guaranteed. So he's a phenomenal right tackle, man. Like he's excellent, but good God, that is the price of the brick keeps on going up.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That makes sense. You know, tackles are going to get that. I think a lot of people kind of were a little surprised by the Zay Flowers contract.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that because that one, I mean, Zay Flowers is a good wide receiver. Don't get me wrong, that is.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But it's just, that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
He's got to make the money, so the next guy makes the money.
Yeah, it just keeps on going. Because Chris Olave recently signed a contract too, because he got a 4-year, was it $132 million? Yeah, 4-year, $124 million. Okay, it's worth up to 132. So Zay Flowers just signed a 4-year, $140 million extension, which how much money guaranteed? 108. $108 million guaranteed for Zay Flowers. So Olave, who just signed, 6 days ago, $132 million, $90 million guaranteed. So, damn, Zay Flowers' agent did some work.
Yeah, I just can't wait till Zay Flowers is on a podcast in 10 years and he tells us that $108 million guaranteed actually isn't that much money.
Not that much money, yeah.
That's been my favorite trend of like the last few months.
It's been great.
Is all these, it's been a bunch of athletes talking about how $100 million is actually not $100 million, guys.
I'm only getting like 40 to $50 million at the end of the day. I'm like, you could retire. You put that in an account and you retire forever. You put 10 million of those dollars in an account and you could just retire.
Yeah.
And you still
you
have
can live off the interest, baby.
It's crazy. Yes.
They're like, well, first of all, you got taxes. We're like, yeah, no shit. We all do. We all got them. Then they're like, you know, but then I gotta buy this and this and that. You're like, no, you don't. You didn't have to. I think it was I forget. Maybe it's Carmelo. I forget. Somebody was talking about like, no, maybe it was Brandon Marshall. It's like, I just bought a $4 million house. I got it. And it's like, well,
which no one's making you do.
Yeah,
no one's making you buy a $4 million house.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it Justin Jefferson who bought like a house and it's just like, yeah, it's like it's a regular looking house, and he's just like, yeah, this is not where I'm gonna park my money.
Yeah.
Because why not? It just, and again, like you hear all these stories about how like financial literacy needs to be taught, and you know, especially, and I get it, right, dude? Because if you're 20 years old and coming out of college and it's like, oh, well, here's $10 million. Bro, that's insane amounts of money. Now, of course, like with NIL money and all that great stuff, that has changed now in college because you're seeing these players, you know, get paid insane amounts of money. Like
they can lose all their money before they get to the NFL, and they will learn the hard way how to manage it. That's going to be the benefit of NIL money.
Yeah, there you go.
So, if you're a player, this is the easiest thing to do. If you're a player, you get your big paycheck. You go up to your owner's office and you ask your team owner to put you in contact with his finance guy. All those owners, they're not fucking around with their money.
No,
their money's getting taken care of. You say, give me your finance guy, and then you let them help you manage that.
There you go. Yeah, the Zay Flowers one, like the Olave extension makes all the sense in the world, right? For the Saints, phenomenal player, going to be a pivotal part of that offense. Listen, not my money, right? But hot damn, that's a lot of money for Zay Flowers. And Zay Flowers is a very good wide receiver. Do not get me wrong. There's no shade against Zay Flowers, but that is $108 million guaranteed is a lot of money. You know, and that's, of course, it's just going to keep on going up. But from 6 days ago, you know, you having a $90 million guaranteed contract for Olave, and then to jump up, that's a big one.
It's what's kind of tricky too is like Zay Flowers is a receiver in the Ravens offense where I don't like, and they're going to have, you know, they obviously have a different play caller this year. So we'll see like how the passing game sort of evolves there. But the Ravens have kind of been an offense where like who their top target, it's been like Mark Andrews when he's healthy, and then your receiver. It's I don't know, I don't even know how to say it. Because like when a receiver's playing well there, it's really, really important. And you want Zay Flowers to be the number one receiver in that offense.
Yeah.
He's great at running routes and getting open. And you want that guy to be consistent. But it's felt like with Lamar being so dynamic, with the run game being so strong with Derrick Henry, it's almost one of those positions where you want that guy, but you feel like that's a position you don't have to overspend at in Baltimore because of the way it works. But
I mean, so for Zay Flowers too, like he's had back-to-back, 1,000+ yard seasons, right? 5 touchdowns last year. Average, I think the average is crazy, right? It's like averaging 14 yards per catch. Like that's pretty nuts. And if you look over at Olave, right, he had 100 receptions last year. But to your point, Zay had 86, still over 1,200 yards. Olave, 100 receptions, 1,100 yards. He had 9 touchdowns, so almost double the amount of touchdowns that he has. And I feel like Zay Flowers gets graded a little bit more harshly because there have been some plays where you're like, oh, that's tough. Whether it's been fumbles or, or like you mentioned, just the way that their offense is structured. Like, again, very, very good wide receiver. It's just, damn, man, like over $100 million guarantee is a lot of money. So, and the Ravens are in this weird place. They, like you said, they got a new play caller. It's kind of starting fresh there over in Baltimore. We'll kind of see what Minter does. And I think he's a really good coach. But yeah, it's just, it's going to be an interesting few years for Baltimore.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. Seeing Zay Flowers had 1,200 receiving yards last year is surprising to me. Because he didn't feel like a 1,200 yard receiver last year.
But yeah, like there were times, dude, he got 80 because I think he was their leading guy by a good amount. Let me see. Ravens offensive leaders. Hold on. Because obviously, all right, so receiving, yeah. It was Zay, dude, and it wasn't even close. Like Mark Andrews was their second leading receiver with 422 yards. Like this, it's not. So Zay tripled what he got, and then you have Hopkins who had 300 yards. Likely was at 300. Bateman was at 224. So, like again, I get it, man. Like he is their clear wide receiver one. This is a lot of money. A lot of money. Yeah. Speaking of,
this is where they need to get better. More touchdowns for your wide receiver one.
Be nice. It'd be nice. Yeah, because Henry had 1,500, basically had 1,600 yards last year and 16 touchdowns.
This is what I remember. He had 3 fumbles and they lost all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll get graded a little bit harsher because he's had some dropping of the footballs.
Was he the guy? Was it Zay Flowers when the Ravens were about to score and the ball got knocked loose against the Chiefs in the playoffs? Yep. Was that Zay?
Yep.
That's why. Like we're like, oh, it's
that's what I said. So
some of those plays stick out, right?
That's going to get graded on a curve. Speaking of fresh new markets, Bijan Robinson becoming the highest paid running back in the NFL. So getting a big time extension. So he got a 3-year deal for $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. And it was funny because I was talking to some folks yesterday about this, and they're like, man, like those numbers are like, it seems like a solid deal. Like Bijan Robinson is far and away the Falcons' best player, especially on offense, right? You could argue is the best running back in the NFL. And then and there's some arguments with that, like Gibbs, who's going to get paid, is up there. Jonathan Taylor's up there. But Robinson's really freaking good. And $75 million for 3 years is like not too bad. And that's the running back market.
Yeah.
So like you just see the difference between receivers and running backs and where they're valued in the NFL. It's crazy, man. It's that Todd Gurley effect that you're still feeling years later.
I think I saw something that said that Jeremiah Love still had more guaranteed money than Bijan. Is that true?
Let me see. I got you. His contract, I think it's like 50-something million. Yeah, 53 million guaranteed. 53 million guaranteed, and Robinson's 51. So yeah, Love is when you get drafted that early.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's a lot, especially for a rookie. Like, dude, needs to be running behind that O-line. That's gonna be tough.
If I were Bijan, that would have been the thing that I wanted. Yeah. Would be more guaranteed money.
I think because Gibbs is obviously going to get paid next, and Campbell was being like, oh yeah, like this isn't gonna hurt contract talks, because Gibbs is gonna be like, he's probably gonna make like $1 to $5 million more than Bijan and then call it a day.